I'm here at Soul Farm and we just had a new moon ceremony. The new moon is occurring tomorrow, and the new moon is a perfect time to set intentions. It's the beginning of the lunar cycle, and we can look at it as a time for us to start fresh. It's the beginning of a new cycle. We get to plant new seeds, set new intentions, set new directions. But it's really important, of course, to have clarity on what those intentions, on what those directions will be. This meditation is designed to help you develop some of that clarity. As you set new goals, as you plant new seeds, it can be helpful to think not on things outside of yourself that you're hoping to create, but rather conditions within yourself. Feelings and attitudes, maybe new ways of thinking. I'm hoping this meditation will help you set your direction by allowing you to determine what's really important. I think this meditation is best practiced lying. So if you can find a comfortable place to lie down and soften, do that now. Perhaps you need a pillow under your head or a bolster underneath your knees or maybe a rolled blanket. But take a moment and find the perfect lying position for you. As you arrange your limbs, begin to focus on exhalations. Make your exhalations a little longer. And each time you exhale, envision that you're softening. Relax tension in your muscles so that each time you exhale and soften, you feel a little bit heavier. As your muscles soften and release any contraction, you'll feel as though they're expanding, getting larger and heavier. And as your muscles cease to contract, you may feel space open up in your joints, in your shoulders, in your hips, even along your spine. Allow yourself to expand into this new shape. And even as you're feeling heavier, even as you feel as though you're sinking deeper into your mat, you also become aware of a sense of spaciousness, the space between your joints. The ease in your body. Direct your attention into your breath. No need to deepen it, just notice your inhales and your exhales. And as you become aware of this new space in your body, feel the hard outer shell of your body begin to soften and dissolve. And as you inhale and exhale, envision that you're breathing not just with your nostrils and your lungs, but with your entire body. Air is flowing through this now permeable shell. Your outer edges are dissolving, and you're breathing in and out with your entire body. As you continue to breathe, you feel lighter and lighter. The hard, dense areas are dissolving, and you feel more like just pure energy and space. As you become more aware of your lightness, the weight of your body pressing into your mat, into your earth, into your ground, also begins to diminish, and you almost feel as though you're floating. As you become lighter and lighter, have a sense of space forming, being created between yourself and the ground. And after a few breaths like this, you do become aware that you're floating. Each inhale carries you a little higher as you begin to rise and become fully aware of lifting and rising through the space that you're in. Lifting and rising. Allow yourself to look down and watch the space that you just occupied receding away. Past any ceilings and roofs. Floating up past the tops of any trees. Finding your view becoming more expansive as you rise higher away from the earth. As you rise higher, you become aware of this unique vantage point that you now have. You can see so far in every direction. Be curious. What do you see? And as you float higher and higher, notice that you are moving towards a more open space. Buildings are becoming fewer. Roads and cars are becoming less. And you're finding yourself moving to a countryside vista. see fields, you see trees, you see patches of woods, and you do still see roads, fewer and farther between. But as you look down, you notice one road that looks particularly interesting to you. A very long, narrow country road. And you decide that's where you would like to land. And you begin to descend. Soon your feet land on the road, and you become aware of your shape and your form again. You feel the weight of your body. You feel the road beneath your feet. And you begin to walk. As you walk, be curious. Look to your left. Look to your right. Notice what's on the side of the road. And then look straight ahead. You see a long ribbon of road ahead of you. In some ways down the road, you see something on the road, a dark shape. As you continue to walk toward it, this shape takes form. And you see that this shape is a small child. And as you get closer, you see something very familiar about this child. And as you get very close, you realize that this child is you. And you have a moment here. You have a moment to connect and speak with this child. And rather than tell the child, you decide to listen. What questions would you ask your child? Some thoughts might be, what makes you happy? What are you passionate about? What makes your heart sing? You sense that you only have a moment more to learn from this child. And as you finish your conversation, you give yourself, your child, a hug. And you continue down your road. And as you continue down your road, you look to your left and you look to your right, very curious about the terrain that you're passing. And then you look forward and you see another figure on the road ahead of you. As you get closer, you see that this figure is larger. It's clearly an adult. And as you get even closer, you see that there's something familiar about this person as well. As you get very close, you see that this person is your future self. Knowing that this is a wonderful opportunity, you again decide to ask questions. What questions would you ask your future self? What insights, what information would you hope that your future self would offer you? You sense that you don't have much more time. You ask your last questions. And then you give your future self a hug and continue on your way. As you continue to walk down the road, you notice the feeling of your feet landing step by step on the pavement. And each step begins to feel lighter and lighter. Soon it feels as though your feet are no longer contacting the road at all. And there you go. Again, you're beginning to float. And as you rise, and you look down, and you watch the earth receding beneath you, you see how far you can see. What a large, expansive view you have from this high from the ground. you begin to direct yourself back towards your body. Making your way back to your resting body, back to your meditative position. Noticing the vista as you flow. Pinpointing the location where you need to begin to descend. Coming closer and closer down. And there you are, back in your body again. Begin to feel the weight and the shape and the form of this body that you're occupying. Back in this body, but not the same. Perhaps with a new insight, a new clarity. Of course, you can stay here as long as you like. Or you can begin to bring some depth into your breath, some movement into your limbs. If you're choosing to exit your meditation and continue with your day, bend your knees and roll onto one side. Lift yourself to a seated position, letting your eyes stay closed just for a moment longer. Enjoying your hands at your heart. And when you decide that it's time to open your eyes, lower your chin toward your chest so that as you blink your eyes open, your fingertips are the very first thing that you see.